Welcome, autograph addicts. Time for another Just the Tip segment, and this is on prepping sports cards. If you send sports cards TTM, like a lot of people like to do, you have run into the glossy sports card conundrum. If you send a glossy sports card out without doing anything to the card, it usually comes back smeared or bubbled. This is a way to combat that. By doing these two methods, one or the other, you can in most cases keep it from getting bubbled or smeared. So I'm going to show you both cases, guys, the most popular and the other way to do this. Let's go ahead and get started with showing you the cards that do not need to be prepped. Any card before really like 1992 is probably okay. These are matte finish cards. They're not glossy. They may have a little bit of a gloss look to them, but they are easily signed, and I'll just show you right now. Turns out great. No problem. Alright. Also, the newer cards that are matte finish, such as the Allen and Ginter set, again, these cards don't have any gloss on them, and they sign great. That's why I like the Topps Fan Favorite set. Matte finish, no gloss. And the Ginter set's the same way, you know. Boom. Signed right there, no bubbling. Beautiful. But the cards you're going to want to look for are these. These are the devil. Chrome cards. Chrome cards are the worst when it comes to bubbling. You're definitely going to want to prep these because I'll show you what happens here. Okay, it may look great, but give it a second and this will start bubbling, especially if you put it in a sleeve. Try to zoom in here. This one may come out okay, actually. But usually you will get bubbling. This is an older Chrome card. I don't know if that's the reason it's not bubbling. Bubbling is when you have an autograph that you start getting little circles in the autograph that do not have the pen in. So basically these little circles grow and ruin the autograph. It looks like crap. So this one actually turned out okay, but they usually don't. So note that. This is the card that we're going to be prepping. We're going to prep a couple cards actually. Right here, this is a Glendon Rush from 2002. So to prep, guys, all you need for the first kind of prepping is a thing of baby powder. This has talc in it, and talc is the main ingredient that is going to do the trick for prepping. So, lay your card down, okay? Now, open up your baby powder and pour the baby powder on the card. From there, what I do is I rub. Make sure I get all the baby powder all over the card, just as so. Then I knock it all off. Then I take the back and do the same thing. I rub it in the baby powder, just like that. Smooth it like that so the talc gets all over the card. The reason I do the back, sometimes people sign the backs. I know it's stupid, but they do. Now, you can't leave it like this, because if you send somebody a card with white powder all over it, you're going to get arrested. So, from here, you just kind of get your fingers, get some of the powder off your fingers, and I just rub it like this. On the sides first. And by doing this, you get the back done too, so using both fingers. Then you go through the middle. Okay, then you inspect it to make sure there's no white powder left, because the white powder, like I said, will get you arrested. But looks like we're good here. So this is a prepped card. The talc is taken away. It's still glossy. It still looks glossy, but it will at least hold the signature. That's what the talc does, is hold the signature on the card. So let me go ahead and sign this and show you. I don't know if you can tell, that came out a bit better than the other card. Usually the bubbling happens whenever you hurry up and stick it in the envelope, or I think it's because these cards are a little bit older, 2002. I've seen it happen on a lot of more, on the recent cards, but no bubbling there, beautiful signature, and holds very well with the talc. So, the other card you need to look for, guys, is these are these. These are not chrome, but as you can see, it's glossy. And Americana cards are notorious for bubbling and smudges. So, again, let's try to make this one bubble or smear. It almost feels like the signature sits on top of the card, not actually, you know, in the card like it's supposed to. So, well, that one's not going to bubble either. Having trouble getting these to bubble, so you guys actually know what bubbling is. I should have probably showed you an example, but usually these bubble. Don't know why this one didn't. But to solve the bubbling and the smearing, especially the smearing, again, we're going to baby powder this. I just usually reuse the baby powder I have on the table. Just do that, cover it, and then, as you can see, covered in white powder. Do not leave it like that. So, again, just do the finger trick that I use right there. Just like that. Make sure you get all the powder off. And that's pretty good right there. Alright. So it's all powdered up. Now let's sign it, and the signature should stick a lot better. Right there. Again, you're not seeing much of a difference here on the video. Apologize for that. Don't know why the first ones aren't bubbling, but these do hold a lot better, guys. So if you're worried about bubbling, this is the way to go. Now, I said I was going to show you the last way to prep your cards. This one does not include baby powder. This one actually includes an eraser. Yes, simple as that. Erasers also take off inscriptions if you haven't tried that. I'm not a big fan of the eraser, and I'll show you why here. So this is another Donruss Americana card, glossy. So I'm going to lay it down and start erasing. And this supposedly is supposed to erase away the gloss and make it a matte finish card. But the problem I always run into, and it's probably better to use a big thick eraser like they sell for school and stuff. I'm not going to do the whole thing, it takes forever. I know Sid does it this way, so he may be able to shed a few more tips in the comment section on this part. But as you can see, a lot of streaking when you do this. And you can kind of even it out by doing that, but not a big fan of the streaking with the eraser. Now, if you use a big fat eraser, there may be a little bit less streaking, but I mean, it takes a lot longer, in my opinion, to use the eraser than the baby powder. But it does sign if you do decide to sign it or have somebody sign it. Actually, I'm getting a little bit of bubbling here. Not bubbling, but streaking. So I've noticed a little bit of streaking right there. So I'm not sure. Maybe the eraser trick is not as solid as the baby powder. I still got some baby powder up there on accident, but tell me what you guys think. What do you use? If you got any tips that I did not mention here, put them down below. But this has been a video on every way to prep your card. I figured I'd cover everything that I could. By the way, these are getting thrown in the trash, so nobody mistakes them as real. I'll rip them up on camera here, just so you guys know that these are not going into a box anywhere. I always recommend, if you have anything fake in your collection, well, these aren't going to get ripped. Those are chrome. I'll rip these though. There we go. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, if you have any tips, leave them down below. But this was pretty much every way to prep a card, the two main ways at least. Hope you enjoyed. I'm Zane Savage, and you take care. All of you autograph addicts.